Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Q&A show on Inside the Birds platform YouTube channel. I am one of your hosts, Jason Avant. I'm here with my co-host, Quintin Mikell. Q, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Back at it.
Let's
Smiles
go.
on our faces, baby. Yes, sir. What a great time to be a fan of this
What a
organization.
great time to be a bird.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the Eagles handle business in the Big Easy, knocked out the Kansas City Chiefs in dominant fashion. The most impressive Super Bowl I've seen since the Broncos and Seahawks, maybe. That game was over in the first 7 minutes. This game was over about, with maybe halfway in the second quarter.
It was a wrap.
This game was over with. So the Eagles kill the Chiefs, and they do it in dominating fashion, 40-22. Thank you to Adam, to Jeff, and to Josh, everyone that was responsible at Inside the Birds for giving us the platform this entire year. We appreciate everything you guys do. Those that are behind the scenes and all the fans that tune in each and every week, we appreciate you guys. Q, this was a dominant performance by the Eagles through and through. And we got to talk about the side of the ball first that destroyed the football game, and that's the defense, namely the defensive line. What did you see that was so impressive by our defensive line?
Oh, man, it was just across the board. Everyone won their individual matchups. Everyone dominated, whether they were getting double teamed, whether they were getting single blocked, whether they were stunting, whether they were straight bull rushing. I mean, it was just a dominant performance across the board. It was really interesting to see. I was wondering how this defensive line was going to, kind of attack, because there is a little bit of a, obviously Mahomes is a mobile quarterback, so there's a little bit of worry if you guys are getting out of lanes, defense, especially interior guys, getting outside of lanes and creating areas for Mahomes to step up into the pocket and launch one, or step up and run for 20 yards. But that wasn't a problem the entire game. It was just a smart, masterful performance. Every single one of their stunts, they made sure that at least two defensive linemen were in the center of the pocket to keep Mahomes from being able to step up. And then many times flushing him outside, which we don't really see a whole lot. A lot of times during the season, you see Mahomes, getting flushed outside, and he's able to get his eyes downfield and make plays. And just across the board, man, this defensive front, they play lights out, man. Just disciplined. It was just an ass whooping, man. It was an ass whooping top to bottom.
This is how I sum it up, right? When it comes to this side of the ball, the Kansas City offense was smoke and mirrors. Yeah. It was sleight of hand. It was a Lamborghini with a Chevy engine. Had everything that looked good. The outside had all the upgrades on the inside, but you popped the hood, and it was a Chevy engine. And they got the inspection that day where somebody had to examine what it was. And the defensive line made sure that everyone knew that they are faking. This is not the real thing. And our defense will dismantle them. So that's what I thought of the game. I thought that our defensive line exposed the offensive line's problems that they've had all year, that they've tried their best to cover up with the RPO passing game, the little quick hitters and all those things, unblocking, not blocking people. I thought our defensive line said, you know what, let's go out and open the hood up on this team and let everybody know who this is. And so the defensive line destroyed that. Shout out to Milton Williams, who made himself a lot of money today, had the one-on-one a few times, and destroyed Mike Caliendo. We talked about that matchup. Everybody that was on that side ate that day, whether it was Jalen Hunt, whether it was Josh Sweat. Everybody that was on that side destroyed that game. And so I thought that was great. JalenCarter, I talked to him after the game. He talked about, man, being double teamed a lot. And he's like, our guys only rushing 4 made me so proud. He's like, when they double teamed me, somebody was home. Somebody was close. somebody was making them uncomfortable. And then you start to see how that ability to rush the passer opened up everything else. When you rush the passer that effectively, now you got 14 eyeballs on the quarterback because you got 7 in coverage. It's so hard for any quarterback to go against 7 defenders every single snap because you're dominating up front. And that's what happened with the Eagles defensive line. They killed it up front and gave themselves an opportunity. And Mahomes was frustrated, threw the ball in harm's way, threw it under duress, forgot about a defender in Cooper DeJean. He had to roll the pocket on a non-rollout play.
Yeah.
Just because he was getting so much pressure from the left side, ended up in a pick 6, right? So the defensive line destroyed that ball game, and that's all that matters. You can have all the cute stuff, you can have all that stuff, but we're going to destroy you up front. We're going to hit you in the mouth, and that's what the game was to me in the defensive line. JalenCarter, Josh Sweat, and Miller Williams made themselves a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
gosh,
I was really. Were you surprised by how quickly Kansas City went away from the run? Like, I know Andy has a tendency to get pass happy, but we're talking what, 3? I think 2. It was like Pacheco, I believe, had 3 rushes for like 8 yards, and then
I wasn't surprised, Q. The reason I was surprised because they did the same thing versus Buffalo. Like, no one necessarily stops Kansas City from running. Coach Reed just has impatience at times because their quarterback is so used to producing offense, and they're able to get a lot of cheap offense with quick throws. But the Eagles, because they were able to rush forward, now they can play a little bit tighter up front in coverage and take away some of those quicker passes. Cooper DeJean was jamming people multiple times, even in zone, even on the first play of the game that Juju Smith got behind him. He still put his hands on him, but the play happened so fast. He was trying to delay it. So they had a good game plan for that quick game. And after that first series, the first series, that quick game was out of the window.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, because that's one one of the weaknesses of Coach Reed is that he will abandon the run game. Saquon averaged 2.7 yards a carry for us. He had 25 rushes though. We didn't abandon the game. We just couldn't pop it.
Yeah.
And we could do it other ways. Jalen had 70 plus rushing yards, but Saquon couldn't. But we didn't abandon it, which keeps you balanced, which allows you to have a big play to Jahan Dotson, which allows you to have a play to Devontae Smith, which allows you to have 2 big plays down to A.J. Brown, one of them called back. You're able to get chunk plays when you stick to it. Now the Chiefs, on the other hand, couldn't get those chunk plays at the rate that they wanted to because they couldn't run it.
Yep.
So I'm not surprised because that's always been Coach Reed. He's a little bit impatient at times because he's figured out ways to generate. With that quarterback, you normally don't have to play by the rules.
Yeah.
But guess what? That quarterback was getting hit.
he was getting hit, harassed.
Yeah.
All game, man.
Yeah. So what's what he have? 2.5. So he had 2.5 sacks and 7 quarterback pressures.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Championship game in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, Milton with two sacks. You know.
Yeah.
Kelsey getting jammed up by Cooper DeJean on plays.
Yeah, he said that was a key matchup. How physical was he going to be at the line of scrimmage? And man, he was.
This is how I knew the game was off to a wrong start from Kansas City. Kansas City had first defensive possession. They won to play. They won the toss. They called tails. They won the toss. They deferred to the second half. On the first play of the game, I don't know if you can see it on TV. They had 12 men, and one of the guys had to run off the field. I said, wait, what? Like, Carl Loftus ran off the field on the first play. I'm like, they almost got called for a 12-man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. This ain't the game for that.
No.
Hey, that's not what I want to see as a player or anything. Like, we almost get called out on a 12-man on the first play of the game in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, they're They're distracted some kind of way. Kelsey dropping passes. Yeah, they were low, some were behind, but it's the Super Bowl. The effort wasn't there. Like the effort, like you sell out in the Super Bowl. You don't let the ball that's behind you to just like look at it and just it be behind you. No, you contort your body backwards and try to break your neck to catch the ball. It's Super Bowl.
Yeah. He kind of looked out of it, man. I don't know if it's the we can't bring her up on the podcast.
Do you know the Swifties are leaving negative reviews to his mom's restaurant because of that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't want no smoke with the Swifties, so we ain't talking about that. I don't need them leaving comments under our.
But that was hey Swifties. Right, listen, that was funny though. That was funny.
That was funny. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, even everything from his suit that he was wearing to his play to walking off the field afterwards, that wasn't the same Kelsey that we remember, man.
He got he didn't play well that game. He didn't play well, but none of the Chiefs did. The offensive line didn't give people a chance to play well.
Yeah. And
to be honest, I thought it was a stellar job by Coach Reed, not in that game. Not in that particular game because I thought he abandoned the run, but a stellar job to get the Chiefs to that point with those players. Like there's no way the Chiefs should have been in that game. Yeah. Not with that offensive line. And our defensive line is nice, but they're a solid collective group that is like a constrictor, right? It's not a viper or, you know what I mean, a mamba where it just strikes and you out. That's what we were that game. We turned from a boa constrictor that constricts the pocket and into like a deadly poisonous snake that game, right? So I don't understand why. I don't understand how the Kansas City Chiefs even got to that game with that. Yeah. I just don't understand how other teams didn't figure it out. So it's a good job by Coach Reed by tricking everybody in order to get to this place. It's crazy.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah. All right, Q. Second question, because that was a long first question. The back ends, both the second levels, right? We talked about the defensive front. Dude, did you see Nolan Smith how he took on the guard again?
Oh my God!
Did you see that?
He destroyed that entire play.
My gosh! And it was. Let me tell you how demoralizing that is. Cooper DeJean just goes in for a pick six. Coach Reed said, "You know what? Let me run the ball because Patrick is going going in the opposite direction here. He's not playing that well. Patrick needs. Let's run the ball. We're gonna run it left. We're gonna pull the right guard. We're gonna get over it. So we're gonna try to run it, like you said. They abandoned the run game. Coach Reed saw that and was like, damn, we can't run it either. Nolan Smith knocked the hell out of Trey Smith. I was like, oh my gosh! In the game from the press box, I was like, ooh. Hey, and then he turned around to him like, yeah, I'm about that. You weigh 100 more pounds than me, almost 100 more than me, but I'm about to give you the blues.
Hey man, he been doing that all year too. Yeah. It's funny too because in the beginning,
player that he's handling business like that, knock the dude from the Packers out of the game on a pull. Like stop pulling. If he see that pull, he gonna meet you. You getting 3 steps at the most.
Yeah.
At the most, you're gonna be able to turn your hips toward the sideline, and before you know it, you're gonna by that third step, you better be ready.
You better get low, buddy.
Low. They're gonna start cutting that dude.
Hell yeah. Oh man, I love to see that, boy. I love to see that, man.
Oh my God. I thought that was a tone setting play. Oh, I want before while we're on the D-line, listen. The way that they allowed Patrick Mahomes to get hit on that Milton Williams sack, on that strip sack, boy, They were like, we heard everybody talk about how the Chiefs getting all these calls. Y'all ain't getting a call this game. And JalenCarter, boy, should have been thrown under the jail with that hit. And the craziest thing is after the play, and it just speaks to the mindset. This is what I like about this team. It speaks to the mindset. If you watch that play, the one that Minh Williams strip sacked the quarterback, JalenCarter, hits Mahomes. After the play, after the ball is being wrestled up by Minh Williams, he recovers the ball. You got to see like the Chiefs offensive lineman trying to get in position. JalenCarter is like deboing them, like pushing them, like, dude, don't even, like, I'm not giving you an inch, even if it's just elbow wrestling to see who's gonna stay in this position. Like, you can just see the mentality in the play afterward. It's like he's pushing the offensive lineman off. He put his hands up like this, and while he's moving them over, like, dude, you can't don't step in my space. Don't get close. Don't touch me. Don't put a finger on me. You know, like offensive lineman, like hands on you.
Yeah,
He's like, no, ain't none of that. Yeah. Don't even try. Don't even think of it. So the mentality for that group is unbelievable. All right, let's get to the DBs.
Yes, sir. DBs, they play lights out too.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
that's not just DBs, second level. They got 2 interceptions.
Yeah, we got Cooper DeJean, Zach Bond got a nice pick.
Yep.
Just lockdown coverage. I mean, I've never seen, honestly, in a game like this, I've never seen a dominant performance. There's like I don't think there's anything bad that I can really say about any of the play on defense, really, any of the offense, special teams. I mean, just across the board, just stellar performance, man. Like, what can you say? I mean, I have no qualms about anything that I saw.
I'll give you the Cooper DeJean play was an amazing play caused by a defensive line. They had to roll out the quarterback, and Patrick lost. And it's a good job by Cooper DeJean because you can see his level change once he recognized that Patrick Mahomes didn't see him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that's an art to know where you are in the quarterback's vision as well. Not just for the quarterback to see you, but to see, okay, does he recognize that I'm here? And Cooper DeJean clearly recognized that Patrick Mahomes did not see him. And so he got kind of stealthy right there to make that play. But that was caused by the defensive line. And yes, he had to capitalize on that, but he catches the ball, great athlete, takes it to the house pretty easily. That was awesome. But there was a lot of plays. Noah Gray catches a flat throw in the first couple of the series, and Quintin Mikell hit the tight end like he weighed 235, 240 pounds. Like, he caught it in the right flat. Quintin sprinted up and hit him without wrapping. This is a tight end. Yeah. Hit him right in the chest. I may almost cause the fumble or incompletion. I was like, oh, this team ready to go today. That happened in the first series, second series, something like that. Threw it right to the flat. No wrap up from a corner on the tight end. Hit him in the chops. The dude fumbling the ball. I'm like, man, this team ready to go today.
Yes, sir.
They are ready to go. How many times did dudes get in open space and we make tackles? Xavier Worthy, open space, one-on-one tackle. Cooper DeJean gets him to the turf, gets him down. We talked about how tackling is key in a ball game. Only missed tackle that I can think of just off the top of my head was a Quintin Xavier Worthy one in a one-on-one situation, and Bond was step for step with Worthy on a recovery. I was like, dude, this team is unbelievable. Yeah. Like, he was gaining ground on them. Like, you know what I mean? Both of them stopped and started at the same time. I was like, that's unbelievable.
Play lights out, man.
Yeah, they play well. The defense played well. Shout out to Vic Fangio, man. Shout out for you knew something. You knew something. You heard it. 0-8 versus Patrick Mahomes and Coach Reed put together. So he's like, dude, I don't want to hear that. And had them boys ready to play. A lot of guys after the game, post game, talked about the Eagles players that they were annoyed about the NFL inquiring about the term three-peat.
What?
Say they were annoyed by that. They were
Wow.
annoyed about because the NFL, who has Pat Riley has the trademark for three-peat.
Really?
They're in talks with Pat Riley about the term three-peat, and so the Eagles took that as disrespect.
Wow.
Like Jordan,
The conspiracy theorists were right, huh?
yeah, no, they took that with some such disrespect. So multiple guys said something about it after the game.
That would piss me off too, man.
Yeah,
Like, especially Philly. I mean, that's everything. Like, since we were little, man, since we were little playing this game, you always taught you got to play the game, right? You got to play the game. And for an organization that's supposed to be kind of neutral to be inquiring about that, that would piss me off too, man. I'd be mad.
It's like, oh, they want these boys to win. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And they came out there playing the best game of their life out there. I was like, oh my gosh.
I saw a stat today that was weird. Well, not weird, but I never really realized this. But the Eagles are, I think this last season they were undefeated on field turf. Did you see that stat?
No, I didn't see that.
It was some weird. It was like this year and I think Fangio kind of brought that up to the team, to the defense in his opening part of his meetings, that this Eagles team is undefeated on field turf this year, and it's because of they're theorizing because of the speed that this team plays with, the athleticism that this team plays with, the youngness that this team has. That was I think a huge factor in the success of this defense. I mean, they looked fast as hell. I mean, they were flying around all over the field.
To be honest, I think the Eagles will have 2 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls right now if they played on any other surface besides the one in Arizona. Like that's just and I'm not saying that because I believe both teams played on the surface and all that. There's no excuse making. But what I'm saying is that if that was a regular surface, I think the Eagles defensive line has a similar day that they had this past game against them, because the Eagles defensive line was by far the best team when it comes to sacks and couldn't get to the quarterback all of a sudden because they were slipping everywhere, slipping and sliding the entire game. Yeah. So that's just my opinion. But no, I think that's a great stat. The only quarterback that's beaten the Eagles in the AFC in the past 2 years has been Zach Wilson.
Are you kidding me?
No, the Jets last year. Remember when we lost to the Jets last year?
Yeah, that's it. That's a great stat, but also a horrible one at the same time.
The Eagles played terrible with that game. I remember that game. I was so mad at our team that game. I was livid at our team that game. They did everything they could to lose that game. But so let's keep going. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball, Q.
Okay. Yeah, so tremendous game from the offense. What did you see that stood out mostly, just overall process and game calling or play calling for the offense?
One, we stuck with the run game. Like I said, Saquon Barkley had 25 rushes, 2.7 yards a carry, not much at all. But the team stuck with the run game, which allowed them an opportunity for play action pass to work, allowed them the opportunity for some of their shots to be set up, even though they didn't get yards. The Chiefs had clearly made up in their mind, we're stopping Saquon Barkley. That's the only thing we do. Jalen, you got to beat us. And Jalen's like, okay, I see that, and I'll make some things happen. I thought the Eagles offensively was as good as advertised. First drive, if A.J. Brown swipes down instead of back, if he swipes down instead of extending his arm toward the face mask, we're talking about another big play right there in scoring range right there, Jalen, or possibly, touchdown type of situation on that first drive, right? Yeah. So that play, go along with me, because I'm going to say this game is not even as close as it seems.
Yeah.
We know about the garbage touchdowns they had at the end of the game, but I'm not even talking about that. So the A.J. Brown play will turn into points, whether 3 or 7, if that play holds up. Mm-hmm. He misses A.J. on a 0 coverage. Yeah. The A.J. was kind of frustrated about. I almost got kicked out of the press box because I called a play out before because I saw that they were in 0 and A.J. Brown was pressed. I was like, oh, A.J., touchdown, got him. No, because the throw was so bad. Like you don't supposed to do that in the press box because you're supposed to be impartial. But anyway, I almost got kicked out of the press box. I was so loud. I was calling out the players beforehand. Like a rookie, yeah. And then, but anyhow, so that play was a touchdown. Jalen throws the ball a little bit behind Jahan Dotson on the play. They end up scoring that one, so that was a touchdown. And then Saquon Barkley, he could have hit Saquon Barkley in stride. The one he caught on the sideline, the bobbling down on the 5. Yeah, those are scoring plays. All of those plays, like you know what I mean, like some field goals, some touchdowns, whatever. But that's another at least 14 points right there offensively.
That's crazy.
So I'm saying this game, when you really break it down, is really not close at all. So you're looking at a 54-22.
That's an ass whooping.
Yeah. And so here's the thing: the first thing that we kept with the run game, but Jalen, whenever Jalen makes up in his mind that his legs are just as potent as his arm, there's nothing the team can do. Yeah. And I get it that he has to because of how important he is to the team and how regular season games are not important as the playoff games. He has to taper it at times. Yeah. But there was no taper in Jalen this game. So you saw a different speed. Like he was faster this game than he has been any time this year. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he was rolling.
He was rolling this game. I was like, dude, who is this guy? Right? So he was rolling this game, and anytime they had man-to-man, whether it's on second down or wherever it was, and his initial read wasn't there, he's like, all right, I'm about to run for 10. I'm about to run for 15. I'm going to run for another 10. Like whenever they played man-to-man, it was one of those situations where the only way they could play man-to-man was to bring an overload blitz where he couldn't run. He had to get the ball out of his hand. If they just played a rush 5 or man-to-man and cover 2 man, no, none of that was working. Yeah. And so that makes him that much more dynamic. And then the throw to Jahan Dotson, it wasn't just the throw. They had 2 plays on that play, Q. So on offense, there's we had plays where we line up in a formation and it was check with me. It was trips right, check with me. Mm-hmm. And it could be a pass, it could be a run, or they give you one play, or kill this play, whatever it may be. Yeah. It could be either or. It could be 2 plays that they call, or it could be just check with me. Whatever they did, the second play, so it's not a elongated audible where you got to change, you got to do everything. It's just a signal for the second play. Jalen did this here. That means that the second play is up. Didn't take much time. Boom. We got our lame duck out there, Jalen Watson. That's who we wanted the entire time. And the Eagles clearly said Jalen Watson will be attacked. If we get Jahan Dotson, A.J. Brown, or Devontae Smith on Jalen Watson at any time, I'm throwing a go ball. At any time. He was a go ball on demand guy that game. And so they saw him. Jahan Dotson came off the line of scrimmage. He has natural feel for routes. Jahan Dotson has natural feel. Didn't complain. Didn't cry all year. Not getting the ball. Came in like a worksman, like a dude that just do his job, showing up in the playoffs in big moments because he didn't cry and pout and complain, was ready to go. Ran a great route. It wasn't a double move. He just did that little stutter that we do to try to make it a double move within the route. I used to do it all the time. It is a double move, but it isn't. It's not technically a part of it. he did that and got open on Jalen Watson, and Jalen gave him a throw. If he had a little bit more quad strength, he had scored a touchdown.
Boy, get them quad extensions going.
Them squats in there. You know, with Jalen and Saquon. So that was the play to the back shoulder to AJ was a thing of beauty.
So beautiful.
was a dime. Devontae Smith. All right, let me break this play down. I'll let you in. Do you want to get in there? Go ahead, get in there.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I've been talking too long.
No, you good.
All right.
You're good.
So the play to Devontae Smith. I'm gonna break that down. You hope you get cover 4 when you call this play. It was Rattler. Rattler is post in the corner, the same side.
Mm-hmm.
They were in 12 personnel. Dallas Goedert was off the ball, but he had the Rattler concept, which is the corner, and Devontae has the post. The key to this route, if you're running a post, is not to bend the post too sharp in. If you bend the post too sharp toward the safety, they'll pass it off.
Yeah.
Right? So both of y'all running down the field, and the safety feels your post angle because it's so sharp and so flat. He'll alert the corner to pass it off, and both routes are dead at that point. But if you run it like a go almost and don't stick it and just kind of stay skinny, the safety in the corner are in purgatory.
It's that gray area. Yep.
It's that gray area, and you want to play on that. And Devontae Smith ran the perfect Rattler route. If you notice, he got inside, but he didn't stick at all. He kind of stayed up like an inside go route. And that's what you do when you let the quarterback determine it once it's down the field. That ensures that the safety must take the corner route.
Yep.
You know, so It was a beautifully designed play. And guess what? The target number on their back, it was number 35 over there for the Kansas City Chiefs. When they saw that dude out there, and we talked about Jalen Watson going to have a day, and he was the same dude chasing ass again, right there for the go route.
It's so dirty, man.
Sorry, man.
So dirty. My man just want to play. He just wanted to have fun in the Super Bowl, man. He didn't want to be the GOAT. Jalen.
All right, what's your thoughts on offense, kid?
Yeah, man, I don't have much. I honestly don't have much to add, man. To be honest with you, your play-by-play is way more stellar than mine. I was enjoying it a little too much during the game. I will say this. Yeah, I was having way too much fun. But I will say this, man, just top to bottom. I mean, I loved everything about the way the offense executed. I thought the coolest part, no, I don't want to say the coolest, but the defining factor was what you mentioned, deciding to stay with the run and deciding to continue. Because I just feel like sometimes you can see there's just so much as a former defensive player, there's so much, even if a team, and then you got a running back like Saquon, it could be any play and he could pop one for 80 yards. Mm-hmm. And so the Eagles deciding to continue to stay with the run, it forces the defense to play discipline. It forces the defense to read their keys. It forces them to be a little bit late. It forces them to be unsure of everything. So I think offensively, for both teams offensively, I think that was a huge factor in this game, is the Eagles deciding to continue to pound the run and the Chiefs abandoning it. And I think that was a defining factor. And so for me, man, just my computer's messed up. It's for me, just across the board, man. I just think the offense did great.
Shout out to the offensive line, because look at the difference between what Patrick Mahomes was facing and what the JalenHurts was facing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So, coming into this game, you got Chris Jones, you got Karlaftis. I saw they moved around Chris Jones a little bit, but he was virtually ineffective all game. What did you see from this Eagles offensive line that really kind of shut Chris down's effect on this game?
Well, he got hurt earlier in that game. He got hurt a little bit earlier in that game when he was, went to the sidelines and ended up coming back into the game. But I thought that the game plan was to eliminate Chris Jones and get as many hands on him as possible, and let the other guys go one-on-ones, and Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson destroy those guys on the outside. So, and then if you got 3 guys for basically 2 on the inside. That's what you have. You got 3 for 2, and one and at least one of those guys, 2 of those guys are good in one-on-ones. Cam Jurgens is good in one-on-one. Landon Dixon's good in one-on-one. Mekhi Becton's probably the one that needs help in pass rush, right? So when you think about the game plan that they had, that was basically the game plan is to get hands on Chris Jones, and then everybody else can be one-on-one, and we beat the hell out of the guys in those positions. Jordan Mailata dominated, and Lane Johnson always dominates. So you didn't hear Dana's name, Karlaftis' name. You didn't hear none of these guys. They were totally wiped out of the game. Our guys are built for that. I just think that we've played so many good pass rushers and so many good teams. This team and where we are offensively. Offensive line base is light years ahead of every other team. Our offense and defensive line are light years ahead of other teams, man. And to be honest, that's the positions that you keep. Those are the positions that you keep if you can. Now we're gonna move heaven and earth to try to keep Zach Bond and the groups. The truth is that Milton Williams is probably as a guy you probably should focus on keeping. If you can keep Milton Williams and Zach Bond, you probably are back in that position again next year.
Yeah, you got to. You have to.
Over everybody else. Now, I don't know if you can keep those 2 because Milton Williams has played himself into a lot of money. Zach Bond's going to make a lot of money, but you could pay one of them. I say that if some kind of way, the 3 people for me that I'm keeping on that side queue is Zach Bond. I don't know how we get back to defense, but Zach Bond, Milton Williams, and Isaiah Rodgers. Those are the 3 that I'm trying to keep.
Yeah.
I know we got Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo can't cover like Isaiah Rodgers. I think Isaiah Rodgers adds an element of nothing's easy out
here. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you can get him for cheap. And then Becton and Sweat, we can't afford them. Becton, first of all, the offensive line is solid as you can get. Don't miss a beat when Tyler Steen comes in. Don't miss a beat when Fred Johnson comes in. Got Stoutland. I'm not worried about Mekhi Becton. Sorry. I think he did great this year. No way. Josh Sweat, going to make too much money. It's just the truth. He's going to make too much money. So it's I don't think that we're going to be able to keep him.
You can't keep Sweat. You got to get – I agree. You have to get Williams back. You got to get Bond back. You could probably do a 2-year or something for Bond. I mean, because this was his first – come on, his first year starting. I know he's getting a little he's ready to strike. No.
All-pro? Almost defensive player? I ain't trying to hear none of that. Run me my money. I got a ring already? Man, you don't shut up and pay me. Nah. Run that man his money. What? Pick in a super covering receivers? What? Leading the league in time? What? Run me my money. If Zach Bond can, like, if you want him to take a pay cut, pay him in week 3.
I didn't say take a pay cut. I'm not saying that.
They should have paid him in week 3.
I agree.
After he covered the tight end on one of the plays, like once he covered with the receiver on the corner route.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yards down the field. I'd have got his agent in the room. Hey, can't remember what game that was. I think I remember the Jaguars game.
It might have been the Jaguars or maybe the Bucks game
where he was covering the receiver 25 yards down the field.
I remember that.
Oh. So yeah, but wait. JalenHurts. Flowers to you, young man. Flowers to you, young man. We got to treat you like Martin. Hushy tushy. Hushy tushy. Flowers to you. Flowers to you. I've criticized you not terrible. I think there's a lot of people that have to like completely apologize. I think everything that I've said has been substantiated.
Fair. Yeah, it's been fair.
But it's criticism nonetheless. Is there things that needs to improve? Is there things? The one thing that I can always say and that I've always said, that the kid figures out a way to win ball games. That the kid has just big cojones and big moments. Yeah. Has persevered through everything that he's faced. And it's a good thing to see because his growth from starter to where he is now is unbelievable. When you look at it, is there things that you can nitpick with him for this and that? Yeah, you can. And we're going to continue to because the earnest is on him and on the entire team. Like they're professionals. So you get nitpicked, you get criticized, you get commentary. That's a part of it. That's what we sign up for. But to play that way on the big stage, and then more than anything that happened in that game, because I was worried in the stadium. Let me tell you why I'm worried. Because that was a masterful bait job for the interception by Spags. It was a masterful bait job that got that interception. That wasn't just some random happening. They baited Jalen into throwing that ball because they knew that Jalen would throw that ball to A.J. Brown in that situation and roll the coverage. The backside safety did not even stop in the middle of the field. He just beeline for A.J. Brown. He didn't even stop. They rolled the coverage late on the snap of the ball. He was all the way over to the left, and he just ran toward the go route. So they knew that, and they pressed that guy on purpose. And I thought that play and how that design would frustrate Jalen the entire game. He took it, saw it on the sideline. I seen what happened, what they were trying to do, and stayed focused. That was one play that didn't change his mind. We've seen Jalen in the past, last year, the year before that. Something happens early that's not right. He shook for the rest of the game and kind of trigger shot. No, he stayed with it, stayed true to his convictions, ran the ball if he wasn't unsure, and let the ball go. Even on simple plays, like I didn't necessarily agree with the decision, but I agreed that it was decisive. You make a play, it's going to be decisive. He threw a corner route that got Dallas got a hit in the head by McDuffie. They ended up getting a 15-yard PI on it. That decision to me was questionable because it was 3rd and 5. He could have threw the ball underneath to A.J. Brown. But he made it like this is the right decision.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for as a quarterback. He wasn't hesitating back there like this. No, he was focused. He was into the game. He said, you know what? I think I can fit that ball in there. And if it was a little bit lower, he would have fit it in there. And he probably would have caught it. So things like that, like Jalen was decisive that game. He played like he wanted to win a Super Bowl with his legs. He was the run game. He was on target. The entire completing 73% of his passes. He's done that the whole year. Kudos to you, Jalen, in those moments. And to hear all the commentary, whether it be from us, whether it be from someone else, to do it and to be young and do it with a team. This is sustainable and continue to grow, continue to handle your business, man. But I'm proud of JalenHurts. I'm proud of JalenHurts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So am I, man.
I had to say that.
Give him his flowers, man. He deserves it. I say gotta give him his flowers, man. He deserves it.
Yeah. And for all of you people that Jason's always hating on Jalen or whatever, I'm fair, man. I don't care if it's the Eagles. I don't care if I'm going to speak my opinion, and it's not going to be some biased opinion. It's biased in the Eagles because I love the Eagles. It's biased that way. But when it comes to breaking down film, I have no invested interest to hate on Jalen Hurts. None. Let me tell you why. When the Eagles make money, I make more money. I want Jalen Hurts to win.
Yeah.
Because every time the Eagles win, there's somebody calling me and say, "Hey, Jason, come over here and do something." You know what I mean? So I want the Eagles to win. So I have no motive in what I'm saying, but just telling the truth based on what I see on the film. So Jalen, congratulations. I want to add a point to that, Q. You got to continue, Jalen, but make sure you send it to Jalen, because there's people, that'll send JalenHurts, something negative I say to him, but don't send the positive. I was like, dude, I say more positive things about Jalen than I do say negative things, right? But anyhow, so you know who I'm talking to. If you want to send clips, send the positive ones too. Don't just send the negative ones. And then the other thing, you got to continue to grow, Jalen. The reason is we love the winning. We love the winning. And the winning is what we want ultimately. All of us want to be the city that can go in and brag and the rings and Hall of Fame. Winning helps you because it's going to get you a quarterback contract. Is going to get you promoted to the Hall of Fame and all those things. Continue to grow, because I want to see Devontae Smith go to the Pro Bowl. That helps him too. And it's not selfish. That's not selfish. Devontae Smith is a sacrificial player that doesn't care about stats, never have. But guess what? He's good enough to be a Hall of Fame player. But the only way that they can be Hall of Fame players if you continue to grow as well, where the accuracy is so amazing and the reads are so amazing that A.J. Brown is content, Dallas Goedert's content, Jahan Dotson is content, the ball is being spread around, guys are eating, and guess what? They're in the Hall of Fame conversation just like Julian Edelman is. Is Julian Edelman a Hall of Fame talent in and of itself? Probably not. But he has a Hall of Fame resume because he wins and he's clutch and he played with Tom Brady and all of that. And that's what we want for our guys as well. And that only happens if Jalen Hurts continues to grow. I'm all for winning. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Winning is the main thing. But having those guys satisfied and having some personal success is also good too.
Yeah. How cool is that, man? Like, we're watching potential Hall of Fame level players right now. Like, that is amazing stuff. And
on a lot of levels, like JalenCarter is a Hall of Fame talent.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson is already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts wins one more Super Bowl, and you can't keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You can try to now, but Jalen Hurts wins one more Super Bowl, he's in the Hall of Fame. Like
Saquon.
Saquon. Saquon goes crazy again. And then you start thinking about, and then because of that, now you start to look at the offensive line. Oh, Jordan Mailata. Oh, Cam Jerk. Like, you start looking at different groups. It's like, how are this team able to do this? Because they got Hall of Fame players.
That's awesome.
And a lot of that starts with Jalen. Like, Chris Jones is a great player, but Chris Jones is not necessarily a Hall of Fame player if Patrick Mahomes is not there helping them win. So Patrick Mahomes going through his reads and getting everybody involved helps Chris Jones. And Jalen is the crux, is the person that can help everybody else by continuing to develop. That's all I'm saying.
That's awesome.
Because he's already straight, but now it's your turn to give back.
There you go. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Love to see it.
All right, you got any comments, Q? You got the last thing, because I feel like I've been talking all day, man. I'm sorry.
No, man, it's been good. Like I said, dude, I watched the game. I enjoyed the game a little too much.
You was out there.
I was. We had a party at the house. We was having a good time, man. I was in the backyard screaming to everybody in the neighborhood. Go Birds!
Go Birds! Hey, Q, I'm gonna give you a funny story. I get done with my interviews on the field and all that stuff. I go down. I was like, let me go down to Bourbon Street just for a second, just in case, I get a call to go to the Eagles party or whatever. I get on Bourbon Street. I'm a light drinker. I don't drink. When you and I play, I never drink at all. Yeah. So 2 drinks and your boys could be under the bench, like singing. Like, so I had 3 drinks. Man, when I say the people with me had to help me get in the Uber,
I hope you didn't have like a hurricane down there. Did you have
I don't
daiquiri or
know, I
something?
don't know what the Eagles fans then got me. Yeah, Vaughn, you gonna drink on me, man?
Hey, that's the right place to do it though, man. New
Have
Orleans,
me
that's my
lit.
hometown, man. I love it down there. But you can definitely have one too many quickly.
Yeah, I'm glad I was with some Eagles fans and a group of friends, man, because I messed around and been out there underneath a bench singing the blues or something.
Did you learn how to second line down there, man?
Hey, second line,
Yeah.
doing fine. Yeah. All right, Q. This season's been great, man. This season's been great. I appreciate everything that you give on the show. And to all the fans, we appreciate you. We'll be back. Don't know when we'll be back, but we definitely will be back. And thank you guys for tuning in, for the questions, for just growing with us. We appreciate you, to Adam and Jeff and everyone that's responsible. Thank you guys for the opportunity. We have a blast doing this show. We always say that we could do this in 20 minutes. The next thing you know, it's 40 minutes. And so because we have a blast once the camera is on. So thank you guys, everyone. Q, you got the last words.
Yeah, as always, man, much appreciated. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for all the questions. What a ride this year, man. It's been a beautiful thing to see, and nothing better than being on top, man. So we'll see you guys soon. All right.
Peace. Go Birds.
Go Birds.